We've talked a little bit during the weekend about different techniques. Most of us are pucker-style whistlers, which is why the documentary film that was made in 2004 was called Pucker Up, The Fine Art of Whistling. But you also saw Jeffrey Amos just do tongue and palate whistling, and Fan John Dang yesterday, he showed finger whistling. Actually, if you weren't here, he whistled with his little finger in his mouth. So, you know, we used to have a fellow who came here fairly often named Ernie Barreto, who did throat whistling, which is the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen in terms of whistling technique. He actually whistles with his mouth wide open, and it looks kind of like a baby bird looking for food. Now, of course, we also have different styles, and what you've witnessed almost exclusively this weekend is what we call instrumental style. And that's where the whistler looks to sound or simulate or replace an instrument and stay fairly faithful to the intentions of the composer. There was one bit that I heard where the other style, which we call bird style, was being used, but for the most part you don't get to hear that too often anymore. But that's where the whistler looks to sound like a bird doing the piece, and you have warbling and trilling as part of that. But that's not been very popular over the recent years, particularly here at the IWC. Do we have the result? We don't have the result. Doing math. Okay. Apropos of the film Pucker Up, The Fine Art of Whistling, for those of you who were not here earlier in the convention to hear something about that, this was released in 2004, and it is available on Netflix. And you can also go to Amazon and just put in Pucker Up, The Fine Art of Whistling and get it for something like $12. I have no financial interest in it. But Chris Solomon and I were featured in that, and there were a few others who were not here this weekend. But we'll be hearing something about it later on. And it's really very entertaining. It not only talks about the convention and the competition, but the history of whistling. And there's an island off the Canary Islands where there's a whistling language called Silbo. And people can actually communicate with each other from distant mountaintops by whistling. And it's a real language. It's not just calling attention, it's communicating. So the film actually won audience favorite at a number of film festivals around the world. When the film came out, I was going from coast to coast introducing the film. I was the narrator of the film. And I commend it to you as a way of finding out a lot more about the wacky, wonderful world of whistling. Let's Pucker Up, The Fine Art of Whistling. Still doing math over there? The tie has been broken. Okay. By the way, just a little more background on the Pucker Up film. It was made by award-winning documentary filmmakers Kate Davison and her husband David Heilbronner. They are actually quite famous for producing a lot of documentaries about depressing topics. There was one called Jockey, which is about how jockeys keep their weight down. It was on HBO and won an award. There was another one called Plastic Disasters, which was about plastic surgeries gone awry. Anybody considering having a facelift would not want to see this film. And they decided they wanted to have something that was lighthearted, and they figured, well, whistling is fun and lighthearted. So they contacted, I believe, Helen. But they contacted Lewisburg and they asked if there were any whistlers in New York City that they could interview to explore whether or not this would be a topic fruitful enough to create a short film out of. And they were directed to me, and they interviewed me, and I gave them some input. And they found that they liked the subject, and they came down here to Lewisburg, and they went to Holland to interview Geert Chartreux, who's a multi-time winner here, and Whistling Tom Bryant down in Florida, Chris Holman in Washington, D.C., and Joe Saldano, the turkey farmer in New Jersey. And it wound up being a feature-length movie, 78 minutes long. So it's really something I can commend. It's been fun if you're interested in learning more about whistling. When the film premiered in New York, a bunch of us went to the premiere and answered, did Q&A afterwards. And I was delighted. My wife went with me, and after the film, my wife said, I felt I had to go because, after all, I'm your wife, but I really enjoyed it. So I take that, I offer that as high praise. So the film was released in 2004. And it's available on Netflix. You can even see it on your handheld device now. It's amazing. I was walking my dogs in a dog park in Manhattan, and I happened to be discussing it with somebody, and he whipped out his iPhone and actually was watching Pucker Up, A Fine Art of Whistling, it's the name of the film, on his iPhone. My dogs actually like whistling. So does my parrot. I have a parrot. His name is Verdi. Because he likes music and he's green. Anything that he says that's English is something that my wife has to say. He's never repeated anything in 11 years that I've spoken. But he whistles. He likes to whistle for me. He wants to know where I am at all times. So he sends out a little whistle like sonar, and then he listens to where the sound comes back from. Here comes Lily. Oh, my dog's names. I'm glad you asked that, because I was trying to think, what could I say? I have 2 Hungarian Vizslas. That's the national breed of Hungary. And for those of you who are not familiar with Vizslas, they're kind of rusty, small, medium-sized dogs that look like small, rusty Weimarans. It's the same kind of body type. They were bred by the Magyars. I have two females, Zita and Abby. Zita was named because that was the last queen of the Hungarian Empire. So it's a very popular Hungarian name, and it was very deliberate. Abby, we adopted both those dogs, and Abby came with the name Abby, and I thought it was cute enough, so I left it alone. Any other questions about my dogs? Sorry? My parents' names? Oh, the parrot. The parrot, oh, okay. I couldn't really understand the other business. His name is Verdi, because he's green and likes music.
What's his little better than you?
What?
Is he better than you?
No. And the funny thing is that my wife tried to teach him to sing, and he sings like a broken CD. She was teaching him, "You are my sunshine," and he goes, "You are my sun, 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 sun." That's as far as he got with it. I don't really understand that because my wife sang the whole song. You know, Linda Hamilton, who is here today and the owner of the and moderator of Ora Whistle, told me a story years ago that was one of my favorite stories apropos of CDs. She has my CD, and on the CD is a medley from West Side Story. And she said that her parrot was trying to get her attention because they were all in the other room. And the parrot started whistling Maria from West Side Story. Whistling it, and I like that story. I'm glad you asked. It's a documentary. What? Oh yes. You know, every time I've been interviewed by a television show or a newspaper, they will say, "Oh, you must have an easy time hailing a cab." You know, and I live in Manhattan. And I say, I hail cabs like this, "Cab!" Because I don't have that loud whistle. I've never been able to do that. Which one? Oh, the coffee commercial. I did a commercial some years ago, which was the only commercial where I've been on camera. The other commercials I've done, I've been, you know, what we call voiceover. I was hired by the ad agency that handled 8 o'clock coffee. And it was a fun commercial. It started off supposedly asleep in bed, and my dog Sparky jumped up onto the bed and started licking my face to wake me up. And I hit the alarm, and it goes off the night table and falls on the floor. And the whole premise was that I would not be able to whistle first thing in the morning. So I went, you know, like that. And the parrot's on my shoulder, or he was on my shoulder. And I'm so tired, I try to make coffee, and I spilled the grounds on the counter. It was a funny commercial. You can actually see the commercial on my website, stevethewhistler.com. And if you want to see the commercial, it's because it's not airing anymore. It aired in 30 cities several years ago. And then, of course, I take my sip of 8 o'clock coffee, and I start whistling, you know, something, you know, terrific. I don't remember what it was at the moment, but that was the commercial. Yeah, probably. Could have been. That was something I used to do in those days. Any other questions? What about the dogs? No, actually, it's not. I was into that before I got into Hungarian dogs. But I have had these dogs for 30 years. You know, not the same ones, obviously. I appreciate it. They unfortunately, our dogs are like our children. They don't stay with us forever.
Talk about Alan DeHart's contribution to whistling.
I would love to do that, but I've been informed they're ready. Okay, so we're going to start reading results, and when your name is called, please come up to receive your award. In the children's division, Franklin County Children's Division, popular, third place, Mackenzie Brashers. Okay, third place classical in the Franklin County Children's Division is Jose Villavazo. Thank you, Jose. Okay, popular second place, Franklin County Children's, Kyle Gupton. Classical second place, Mackenzie Brashers. First place, popular, Franklin County Children's Division, Summer Tillett. Is Summer here? I guess Summer's not here. And classical first place, Summer Tillett. We'll see to it that Summer gets her medals. Okay, second place, grand champion, Franklin County, Mackenzie Brashers. First place, grand champion, Franklin County Children, and Summer Tillett. And we'll see to it that Summer gets some trophy and medals. So, popular first place Franklin County teen, Cassidy Osgood. She also takes first place Franklin County teens in the classics and grand champion. Okay. International Children's Division in popular and classical, both categories, third place, Summer Tillett. Again, we will see to it that Summer gets all of her awards. In second place, popular, International Children's Division, Hyun-Yu Lee. Classical second place, Cao Yuan from Qingdao, China. Okay, so that's classical second place, and she also gets first place in popular. Classical first place, International Children's Division, Kang Hee Lee. I told you not to go far. Okay, so in the Children's International Division, third place grand champion, Summer Tillett. Second place, International Grand Champion, Children's Division, Kwang Hee Lee. First place, International Grand Champion, Children's Division, Cao Yuan. Now we're going to present the Teen Awards. Popular Teens and Classical. Okay. Popular Teen, third place in Popular and Classical in the male division, Masato Kawasaki. In the teens classical and popular category, second place, Pablo Leano. Okay. First place in the popular and classical male division, teen, Yudai Takanawa. Ichiban. Okay, now we're going to do the female teens. Third place popular, Marina Kat. Marina Kat. Third place, classical, Narumi Nakata. Second place, female division teens in classical and popular, Miyu Obirano. First place, popular, Narumi Nagata. First place, classical, Marina Kato. Okay, now for the team grand champion, the male division, third place, Masato Kawasaki. Second place, male teens, grand champion, Pablo Arturo Leano. Okay, first place, grand champion team, Yuta Takanaka. All right, female division, third place, grand champion, Miyu Oberano. You really should be sitting in the front row, don't you think? Second place, grand champion, female division, Narumi Nakata. I hope they left room in their bags for that trip back to Japan. First place, female grand champion, Marina Kato. Being so shy didn't hurt her at all. Okay, now we're going to do the adult division in adult males. Popular, third place, Terry Rappold. third place classical, and second place popular, Jeffrey Amos. Okay, first place popular, Cao Qingyu from Qingdao, China. Also winning second place in classical, Cao Qingyu. First place classical, Zachary Goff. We're now going to give out the awards for the medals for the women. Third place popular and third place classical, Carol Ann Kaufman from Moravia, California. Popular second place is Mariko Takaki. Okay. In second place for classical and first place popular, Mizuho Takata. First place, classical, Mariko Takaki. Okay, now we're going to announce the grand champions in the male division. Third place, Terry Rappold. In second place, male grand champion, Jeffrey Amos. I think special congratulations are in order because I think, and I could be mistaken, Alan may correct me if I'm mistaken, but I think that's the highest we've ever had a tongue and palate whistler place at the IWC. Who? Oh, Luke. I wasn't here when he... Okay, I stand corrected. First place, male international grand champion, Cao Jingyun. Just think he has to carry all that hardware over 7,000 miles to get it home. Okay, female international grand champions. Third place, Caroline Kaufman. We can hear you coming.
I know we're in the middle of a process right here, but you know, this gets overlooked. Wow, that's how nervous I am. This gets overlooked so many times. Can we please just give it up for Alan DeHart, who's made this possible for so many years? Please, come on, you guys, show your appreciation. This man has been working for years to support us. He does everything without even being acknowledged. You're our hero, Alan. We love you.
Second place, international grand champion female, Mizuho Takata. First place, international grand champion female, Mariko Takagi. We will now present the awards for Allied Arts. In the children's division, first place, Cao Yuan. In the Allied Arts second place for team division, male, Masato Kawasaki. Allied Arts first place male, Yudai Takanaka. Remember Mark Spitz? It's starting to look like Mark Spitz. Okay, next. Female Allied Arts second place, Miyu Obrano. Allied Arts first place, female division, Marina Canto. The dogs are rust-colored. And they have red noses. So now we're going to present the medals for the adult division, Allied Arts, and we had a tie for second place, you may recall, last night. So please come up to the stage, Sai Chanduri and Yusuke Takuchi. Now, given that we did not anticipate that we're presenting 2 awards, the way we're going to handle, since there's only one medal, is we're going to present the medal for the moment to Yusuke, and we will mail a medal to Chanduri. Just a little closer. Well, first place, male, Allied Arts, the man of mystery and danger, the man of many movies, Todd Dickerson. In the female division, Allied Arts, second place, Mariko Takaki. First place, Allied Arts, female division, Carol Ann Kaufman.